Hey crafty people, it's Tasha here and I'm sharing some inspiration using the quick card kit of the month from Spellbinders for the month of July. First of all, let's take a look what you actually get in the kit. It all comes in this storage bag, which is great. It keeps everything together, and then you can store your remaining supplies by month, or if you've used everything, you could just use the bag to store other supplies. You really do get a lot in these kits, and it's everything you need to get started making cards as soon as the kit lands on your doorstep. This also would make it a brilliant gift for a friend, maybe someone who's just starting out on their card making journey. Get some double-sided adhesive tape and foam pads, some gorgeous bluey purple flat back sequins, get 2 sheets of thick chipboard style stickers, get some A2 sheets of a selection of Spellbinders cardstock, 8 card bases and the envelopes, some glossy acrylic dots, a selection of one-sided pattern papers, and some of them even have gold foil detailing on them. You get puffy sentiment stickers, a guide featuring inspiration using the contents, and then this pack of die cut ephemera. It's stuffed full to the brim and you get 2 of each piece. I did add my trusty tool and wand to my supplies, which you don't get in the kit, but honestly I use this handy dandy tool on every card that I make. Now, let's make some cards. I like to have a look through everything and group pieces together that I think will work well together, and just generally any pieces that speak to me or inspire me. I picked out these 2 pattern papers and I'm using the tape from the kit to mat them onto each other. I just want a really thin yellow border to help make that floral pattern pop. Now, I'm going to add this to the top of one of the A2 panels. This is like a pale pink cardstock, offsetting it to come in from the top left hand side, and once I've got it stuck in place I'll trim away any excess, and then I do add some extra tape adhesive wherever it's needed. I was immediately drawn to this adorable flamingo in a jeep from the chipboard stickers, and I really like it with this yellow sentiment from that same sticker set too. I'm getting a feel for where I want them to be, and once I'm happy with the position, I'm going to really press quite firmly on them so that that adhesive really grabs on. For embellishments, I'm using the sequins, and I did actually add some liquid glue and a pickup tool to help me get those adhered. Then I'm adding some of those smallest acrylic dots too to round out the design. I love to adhere it on one of the card bases that are included. I do this straight away and it's all ready, and that just ups the chance of me actually mailing the card. That's card number 1 done. Super quick and oh so easy. Next up, I've trimmed down this stripe paper and I'm adding it straight onto one of the card bases. Here's a quick tip to get your panel positioned right. I like to add tape to the edges of the panel, and I also put a piece in the centre. I peel off the release from the centre piece. I peel them back so that I've got some adhesive uncovered on each of the corners with the release tape sort of folded back. Then position your panel, but don't push it down until you have it in the right spot. Those release papers being pulled back, they kind of hold the panel up slightly and stop it from sticking in the wrong place. Once you're happy, simply press it down in the middle so that adhesive grabs on. Then just peel back that release tape one side at a time. Sorted. I want those stripes to be a border around my card, so I've cut down one of the white cardstock panels to 5 by 3 3/4 of an inch, and I'm adding it to the centre of my card. I love this cute little row of ice lollies, so I'm popping them up on foam tape, and for a sentiment I'm using one of the ones from those puffy stickers. I trimmed it out from the rest of the backing sheet just to make it a little easier to work with, and I tried to do the press and seal hack to lift them all off the backing and stick them down to the panel at the same time in one go, but it just was not working for me. I think they're just too slick for the press and seal to grab onto, so I just gave up and added them a bit at a time. I just tried to get the placement as close to the original as I could, and I'm pretty happy with how it came out. Then I'm adding some of those acrylic dots as embellishments. Moving on to our next card, and I'm covering the whole card base with this pretty foiled sky pattern. And when it's an all over pattern like this and there's no specific part of it that I want, I don't even bother pre-trimming the paper. I just add tape to the card base, and then I adhere that on the 6x6 paper and just use long bladed scissors to cut it right along the edge of the card. Easy. This is the perfect backdrop to that smiling sun chipboard sticker, but I need to give it a little separation between that busy background and the rest of my elements. I had a thin strip of white that I cut away from my last card, but it's not thick enough to do what I wanted, so I grabbed another of the white panels and I'm just going to roughly cut a diagonal. I thought this shorter piece looks a little fun and quirky, so that's what I'm going with. I'm popping up that sun with some of the foam squares. Then for my sentiment, I'm mixing and matching between the chipboard and the puffy stickers to get the sentiment that I like. The foam that you get in the kit is a little too thick for my liking sometimes, so I'm lifting that sun back up and I'm just literally chopping off roughly half of that thickness. I just added some liquid glue directly onto the foam and then I pressed it back down on the card. Just leave something heavy on it until it's completely stuck. Now, I was thinking that the card was done at this point, but I discovered this little guy on my desk. Honestly, I must just have missed him when I was putting all the ephemera back after checking through it all. But this works so perfectly that I'm going to pretend that I always intended for it to be there. I've finished the rest of my cards off camera, so here are all 8 of the cards I made in a single sitting with this awesome kit from Spellbinders. The kit is still available at the time of posting, and I will have the links in the description below. I also have a link to my blog where you can see better pictures and more information about each one, and all my supplies. If you aren't already subscribed, then I'd love for you to join, and if you hit that notification bell, you never miss one of my videos. Have a lovely, happy, safe and wonderful week. Stay crafty. Bye.